guys, welcome back to The Bachelor, Fake Nerd podcast episode. We're going to talk about our favorite bachelor and all the ladies who might be the new bae. So, we got Ben Magnet. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong episode. Sorry.
I am not proud of the fact that I know this, but The Bachelor isn't running right now. The Bachelorette is what's running right now.
Hey guys, welcome to Swamp Thing, episode 8, Long Walk Home. I don't know anything about The Bachelor. I just learned The Bachelorette is on.
I was this close to be like, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm joined by Ben Magnet as always.
Hello.
Sparkz with you as always. We got two beautiful animals that you can't see on the screen.
Who are you?
I'm Ron Leopolis. Thank you for being there. Yeah. Long Walk Home, Swamp Thing. Hey guys.
I almost took the long walk home if we were actually talking about The Bachelorette.
Yeah, I literally know nothing about The Bachelor.
No, that show. Okay, so really quick side note. They put that show on at work in the break room. No one changes the channel, and I'm sitting there, and there's nothing else to look at, so I'm looking at my phone, but I can hear it because it's really loud, and I'm like, I can feel my brain cells dying.
If you like The Bachelor, that's fine. Nothing. I have no problem.
If you like those shows, cool. More power to you.
I'm sorry if you got excited that the Fake Nerds were going to talk about The Bachelor. It's not tonight.
Bachelor.
It's not tonight. We're going to talk about Swamp Thing, episode 8, Long Walk Home.
Who is
still good?
Who is a bachelor? He is a bachelor.
And Alec is a bachelor.
And this was a long break for us.
It was.
This episode.
Usually the episode's out by now, but hey, a lot of things.
Yeah,
animals going crazy. A lot of things happening.
We have a Comic-Con special, Luna. We have a Comic-Con special and our regular episode that came up, and there was a whole lot of scheduling stuff, so that just made it so Swamp Thing came out late.
Yeah, we were done recording our regular podcast episode at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and
it's 3 in the morning now.
Yeah. Hey man, that's how things go when you're in.
I just got off
of
work.
That's what happens when you're in Murray in the swamp.
Oh no, Avery!
I like that you gestured to your shirt like, this is my work shirt. Can't you see Comic-Con?
Comic-Con shirt.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm loopy. Let's go on. Let's continue.
I love loops. Alright, so listen, Avery's in the swamp.
Yes.
He got shot real bad. He's hallucinating real bad.
He is hallucinating real bad.
He thinks he sees Mama Cable.
Mm-hmm.
He's walking through the swamp. He's got, bullet hole in his leg and his shoulder. He falls over and he's like...
At first he's just seeing, like, vines. And he's like, who's there?
We don't know if he's seeing that or that's actually, like, the rot or the green doing stuff, right?
Oh, it's definitely, like, stuff happening.
It's actually happening,
yeah.
So he's walking through the swamp, and he's also loopy, much like Ben here. He's loopy. He almost drowned. He almost died. And then he sees Mama Cable with a shotgun pointed right at him, and he's like, "Oh, sweetheart, I've been through so much. I still love you, baby."
She's like, "Hey, I probably don't have to finish you off. The swamp's gonna do it for me." And he's like, "Oh no, don't do it." So she fires.
I still love you.
It's a ghost, but a really creepy imagery.
Well, it's not a ghost. It's a hallucination.
Yeah, there we go.
Different things, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
We've seen ghosts on this show.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Yeah, those couple of ago.
Yeah, we did.
So, daughter Sunderland.
So yeah, she fires that shot, but nothing actually happens. But
Avery's
Avery
like,
reacts anyway. Yeah.
He's like,
and then she's just facing away from him, and then she turns, and her face explodes.
Yeah.
I would say like vines start protruding. She starts like cry bleeding.
Yeah, she starts bleeding from the eyes.
Yeah.
Vines start protruding from her eyes, from her mouth. It's like 3D coming at the screen.
It's like she's like reaching for you, like zombies would go.
Yeah.
It's like that. That's an image I would be seeing in my nightmares.
Avery's having a tough time physically and mentally. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah. But also before the credits started, before the opening credits rolled, he goes up and he's talking to himself. He's like,
the tree.
Really good.
Yeah.
He's just like humming. He's like muttering to himself.
Southeast.
Crazy swamp stuff.
Yeah, like he's like crazy. He's been shot. He's like, I'm still alive. But he carves like an A in a tree trunk, and as he's walking, which is a decent survivor's technique, you carve stuff in trees so you know where you've been. Mm-hmm. And as he's walking forward, the A just slowly disappears.
The tree just like absorbs the A and it's back to normal.
It's like, swamp's gonna get you.
So yeah, he passes, or he falls down, right? And he's like, this is some bad news.
Yeah.
This is some bad news, guys. So, and then as like his like vision is distorting, Alec Holland's in front of him. Right?
Swamp Thing.
We're jumping.
Yeah, that's
way ahead.
Sorry. You're the time man here.
Yeah. So intermittent with that, we have Abby has arrived in Atlanta.
So we do
CDC.
end up in Atlanta. Yes.
Yeah.
And she hands over that sample. She's like, "Hey, this is really dangerous, and I'm not exaggerating. This is super dangerous. Please be careful."
Yeah.
Here you
she
go.
reconnects with her friend Harlan Edwards.
Yes,
Yeah.
who survived the green flu sickness.
Mhm.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Abby, I'm glad you're back. People are mad at you up here, so good luck with our new president lady or whatever. The new CDC
Dr.
lady."
Palmer, who's
I could
overseeing things.
Yes.
I swear I thought I heard him say Palmer,
Yes.
and I got really
Yeah,
excited.
he said, well, it's spelled the same. He said Palmer.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? And then this lady walked over. I'm like,
I think, yeah, they're intentionally like, oh, we do not want to give them any more DC the Atom Ray Palmer. We don't
Right,
want to even oh, her name is Palmer. I'm like, that's a weird name.
yeah.
Yeah, because her name is said 3 times, and every time people say Palmer.
You really, really enunciate that
Yeah,
L
yeah.
in that
No,
name.
we're keeping the DC tie-ins at a minimum in this story.
Barely
Right.
so.
So yeah, the CDC stuff is happening. Man.
Yeah. So the last couple days, she wasn't reporting back in. They're supposed to reporting daily to the CDC, right? So she comes back to Atlanta, and the head lady's like, "Hey, so you were radio silent, and all of these tests are really weird, and you are not operating the way they were supposed to. So I don't like you right now, Abby Arcane." And she's like, "Oh, I just want to protect Alec so bad. It's so hard." But when you gotta obey protocol and all that nonsense.
She even goes inside the office of, what's her friend's name again?
Harlan.
She even goes into Harlan's office, and Harlan's like, "Yo, what's going on?" And Abby can't tell him exactly what's going on, because who's
a swamp thing's involved.
Certainly not in the CDC.
Yeah, especially not there.
Because she does tell him stuff
Eventually.
later.
Yeah.
In the privacy of her home.
Well, he wasn't chewing her out, but he was kinda chewing her out.
He's being a professional friend.
Yeah.
The whole question was, Palmer said, "You constantly weren't in the lab. What were you doing?"
Yeah.
You're always spending time in the swamp away from the lab. Yeah.
Right. And Harlan doesn't know what that was about. And he's like, I want to know what's up.
And as a friend, but also a colleague, he's like, "Hey, I trust you know what you're doing, but this is also our job, and you have to obey protocol, or else bad things will happen, and it will stop you from doing what you're
Hence
doing."
Palmer being sniffing around to begin
Yes.
with. Although that's not really the reason Palmer's
No,
sniffing
we
around,
learn
which we find
later.
later.
Yes.
But meanwhile, we cut to Woodrow at the lab in Luray, and the Conclave man comes to visit
Nathan
him.
Ellery just shows up. Yeah. That's a cool guy.
And he has a dossier on Holland.
Yeah. That dude's also, he's got swagger. When you're part of an evil secret organization, nothing phases you. So anytime someone's threatening or aggressive, they're just like, "Yo, man, this doesn't mean anything to me. I love this." But yeah, he gives a dossier on Alec and he's like, "Hey, we're willing to fund you as hard as you want. We're going to give you a lab. We're going to give you people to help you. We're going to tell you everything you need to know. We scratch our back, you scratch ours, that kind of thing." And he's like, "I don't know. This seems kind of fishy." But then what happens after that? I don't remember.
Then we're cutting around, we already covered some of the Avery stuff, because a lot of the Avery stuff is cut around these things with Abby at the CDC. We're jumping around a lot between these little moments. But ultimately what's happening is that Abby's being investigated at the CDC. Mm-hmm. This is partially because of the Conclave. Nathan Ellery's making it clear to Woodrow that it's oh yeah, we're already figuring out this Holland thing. And then we can jump into the Avery stuff, because that's what's really propelling
there's
forward.
There's a line that Nathan gives, and he's like, "Listen, what we do is we find the best people, we hire them, and then we get out of their way.
Yeah.
And that's how we get results. And obviously, Woodrow, you're the guy, so we're willing to give you unlimited budget.
Right.
But we need to get Alec Holland.
Yeah.
We need that sample. We need that live specimen.
Yes.
We need to do an anatomy lesson is what we need."
So we can jump into the Avery stuff again, where he's this is where he's having his horrific vision flashback of what happened to his dad.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. That's before Alec finds him.
Yes, that's true. Okay.
So he's having a horrendous, awful memory of himself when he was young, and we've heard throughout the season, the swamp
took my
daddy. Yeah,
Swamp took my
and we
dad.
see exactly what that was. Is that he was trying to tell his dad not to chop at a very important, powerful tree.
Yeah.
That I don't know what the goal was, because there was no way he was cutting that tree down. It was way too
I
thick.
think for him, because he was telling Avery that a man watches out for number one, a man takes what he wants. Because even then, he was like, hey, what's he interested in? He was like, Dad, this weird, like, ghost, there's real Avery, and then there's young ghost Avery, and then there's the ghost of his dad. Or the hallucination of young him and his dad. And they're talking about this certain big giant tree, and young Avery's like, hey, this tree has some weird powers, and his dad's being the cocky SOB he is, straight up's like, hey, you know what has better powers than a tree? An axe. He's the type of guy where it's like, he knows he can get shit done himself, so he's gonna do it, and he doesn't care who he hurts in the process.
Like, because sorry, go ahead. Yeah, he's chopping wood.
Yeah.
And then Avery is just like staring at this tree, and he's like, "What's up, boy?" And he's like, "This tree is like really weird," and like you can clearly see it's like a weird looking tree. And he's like, "You know what's more powerful than a tree? A man." And he starts cutting at it like an asshole.
Yeah, he's just doing it just to probe to his son. He's like, "Look, we can do whatever the frack we want, so we're gonna do it.
This is our swamp."
I just kind of wish that there was a more clear goal of like, I'm gonna cut this piece off, not I'm gonna just whack right into the side with ultimate goal.
He was hacking like willy-nilly, and like it looked like some like sap's coming up, but also sometimes looked like blood was coming out.
It was definitely like more than just sap.
But once again, Avery's hallucinating, but still, because this is the tree that I think that what happened next actually did happen to Avery's dad.
Oh, 100%.
Whereas like the vines come up and they drag him into the fire and he burns alive.
Yes.
Which is freaky. So my theory is that certain tree was a parliament tree.
Yeah.
Which is why because the parliament tree is like, oh no, screw you, you die.
Yeah. And that ties to the Green, who are like basically like the leaders of the Green, which ties in the Swamp Thing. But
Hey, also, creepy tree with weird powers kind of fits.
And man, it's extra sad and tragic because when this entire time when Avery was saying the swamp took my daddy, we all assumed that there was like an accident. Or like, you know, as soon as he was chopping the tree down, I was like, oh, we think the tree's gonna fall or something. But not only did the swamp actually took his father, but it also took his daughter.
Right.
And and that's such a sad thing when you think about it. Like the swamp actually took the things he was doing to it,
but probably by two separate entities.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like the
swamp.
Like that's the effed
no,
up thing about it.
I know.
Like the Green for sure took his dad, and we're betting that the Rot took his daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like Avery's whole thing this whole season has been like, I've done so much for the swamp. But really, he has been destroying the swamp for his personal gain, and now the swamp has been like in different ways combating that and fighting against that.
And after we see the memory, we see the flashback, we see Alec, we see Swamp Thing standing over Avery, and he's all like, "Oh shit!"
And then he passes out.
Yeah.
Did you guys expect to see his daughter in a hallucination once we started doing hallucinations? Because I did.
Yeah.
I was like, we haven't once had a strong moment about Avery missing his daughter.
That's been more of a Maria thing.
That's been more of a Maria thing. Not only that, like at the beginning of the season, it was him telling Maria that like it was Abby's fault for sure, and then he faces Abby and he's like, I never blamed you for Shauna's death. That's her name. Shauna's death. And it's like, I've never gotten a vibe of how much he actually gives a crap.
So, you know what? I didn't think about her showing up at all, which makes me think he didn't really care about her.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, he really, like, the first time he's ever acknowledged it is when he's talking to Alec later, and he's like, this swamp took my dad from me, took everything from me, took my daughter from me, and I'm like, that's really the first time Avery's said anything about
I wouldn't be surprised if him, like, he's using that tragedy as like a benefit for him. Like he gets to say my daughter's dead.
Yeah.
So he gets like the sympathy.
Yeah.
Like, and we'll go into it later with his son. But like he clearly doesn't give a shit about his son because he's willing to make him do terrible things and turn him into a monster.
So that's all the more reason why I thought Shauna would show up for a moment, even to just say like, you never cared.
Yeah. See, here's the thing though. I think.
Because we know he was in Rot area.
No, but I think Shauna is an actual spirit ghost.
Yes.
Whereas he's just experiencing hallucinations. So like that's not on his mind. Like Shauna is her own personification of like dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think she would show up here. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's kind of tied more towards Maria. Because like he doesn't really care.
Well, but even
this is all psychological.
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying his guilt of not giving a shit about her would have caused Shauna to show up saying, you never cared. Which would be Shauna looking normal, not ghost-like.
Maybe.
Which is what I thought was going to happen.
Maybe he truly doesn't care.
That's what
which is sad.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Is because I'm like, I'm surprised we haven't gotten any of that, and this would have been the moment to give us even just a glimpse of it when he's like being faced with Lucilia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To pretty soon after that have faced a hallucination of normal-looking Shauna that is his creation out of his guilt for not caring.
So you bring up Lucilia again. I actually think this is a very pivotal moment. Like, this is all coming to me now. Like, this moment shows everything Avery only actually does care about. His father and his old love. Everything else he doesn't give a shit about.
Right, and that's why I was like, man, it would have been cool if even in showing that he doesn't really care, Shauna added into that, and maybe this was something, but they didn't have time for it.
Also, but again, episodes were cut and stuff.
But if Shauna had been in it, then when Avery comes to the end of this episode and he's like, oh, this experience kind of changed me, changed my opinion about how I'm going to do what I do next. That would have been something to have brought it full circle. I was just kind of surprised we didn't get any. Because I don't think it'll ever happen past this.
It makes me wonder if that whole Shauna being like an actual ghost thing, was just for those couple episodes, and then it's kind of just forgotten the rest of the season, which is almost kind of sad.
I don't think it would have been if we had the full 13. But I think
it's underdeveloped now that we're so far from it, because it was so core to those episodes, but we've just completely forgotten about all that stuff.
It's at least crucial to what Maria's character has done.
Yeah.
But I agree, like, it's definitely supplanted to build to larger Rod stuff.
Yeah.
If we had the full 13, I bet it would come back around, but with only 2 episodes left, I don't think we're going to see it again.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Well, because now that you mention it, I didn't think we were going to see Shauna at all. I thought Shauna was more of a... I mean, yeah, Shauna is a Maria thing. Like, Shauna is a big focal point for Maria. But now that I think about it, Avery's kind of a... he's always been a dick, but he's even more of a dick now that he doesn't care about his mom.
Yeah.
Like, when you said, Ryan, about that, how the visions in the swamp, he cares about Lucilia, thank you, and his dad.
He can't stop saying, the swamp took my daddy.
Yeah.
That's all he loves to say.
He always says, the swamp took my dad. The swamp took my dad. He never mentions how his daughter died.
Well, that is what happens later. Is when he's talking to Alec, he finally says, the swamp took my daughter from me too.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm kind of like, even in retrospect, just, man, if he just had like a guilty moment with Shauna, this would have felt like a little more full.
Yeah.
Just because we never got any of that from Avery.
Again, and
it was all Maria.
And again, like, maybe he doesn't feel guilty about it. Maybe he is straight up like a monster. I mean, he is a monster, but maybe he cares more about Abby than he actually does his own daughter.
Sure.
Which is super tragic.
Messed up.
Yeah. Do we go to Avery waking up? Or are we talking about the cables?
Basically, we're jumping between Avery waking up. So the cables.
There's a lot of cuts between a lot of things.
So Matt wakes up and has a call to come in to work.
With a nice knife wound in his chest.
Yeah, he's being grump about it.
He's such a jerk.
The only other thing that really happens with the cables here is Matt's really pissed off, clearly, and Lucilia's talking to him, and Matt calls her out for, the way she treated his father, and she's thinking he's talking about Avery, but he's talking about the man who actually raised him, that she drove away because she couldn't let go of Avery Sunderland, which I like as a moment, because Lucilia's really, in retrospect, just been a whole bunch of mess up this season. But that's really all the action.
She's like started off like not that bad, but then once every episode, it's like
it's Avery's fault, man.
Well,
Avery gets his hooks into everyone.
True, but it's like every episode there's another tick down that Lucilia does something that's like, another demerit. There's another demerit.
Yeah, she's all of the merits. She should be fired. Yeah, she's all.
That's pretty much all the action we get with the cables throughout this episode. So we'll jump away from that now. It's basically cutting for this next chunk between Avery and Alec talking and Abby and Harlan talking.
Yeah. And man, the Avery Alec stuff is so good.
Yeah,
it's like the first time they actually get to speak as these characters. And for a second, I truly believe like Avery's on the road to maybe redemption because Swamp Thing saves his life.
Yeah,
right.
He actually saves his life, and he says like, "You saved my life."
He's so out of it, bizarre, and this
it's a creepy
whole scene.
It's a creepy fake out because when we do see Avery wake up, we see like this. Well, I swore when I first saw this, I thought it was a maggot.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were maggots.
Oh, yeah, the little swamp vines.
Yeah, because he has like these worm things in his leg where he got shot
with a buckshot.
Yeah, and then like he's like pulling out. You hear the creepy music. So because he wakes up in Alec Holland's lab.
He pulls out the vines and throws them on the ground, and the vines are on the ground like wiggling around.
I thought, oh shit, that's rot. And then you hear Alex say, "Don't." And I'm like, oh, he's telling us like, yo, this is a certain type of moss that can help your wound.
Yeah,
that'll help clean and heal it. So don't mess with it.
Yeah. It's a testament to Patton's performance as Sunderland that I couldn't tell how much of this was genuine as I was watching it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how much of this is him like as he's going trying to gain what he can get out of this, which to some extent I think that was still there at the back of his mind, even with wanting to help Alec. It's like, this is the source. Once he's figured out this is the source, he's like, oh, you're the thing.
Yeah.
Great.
But before like they have like almost like a heart to heart, like Alex like he tells a story of why the swamp's doing it. It's like, you know, you've been destroying the swamp, and there's a great moment where he's like leaning, he's like, he doesn't even directly accuse Avery. He says people like you. He doesn't say Avery's the only person.
Yeah.
But like he's like saying like, you abuse the swamp and it's fighting back.
And that's when Avery comes to the defense saying, after what the swamp has abused of me by taking
the swamp has taken so much from
my
me.
daughter. Yeah. Yeah.
But then Avery's like, did you like? I know this doctor, Dr. Woodrow. I brought him in to help fix the things that you were looking at and stuff.
Yeah, because it's the way that he like kind of puts the pieces together, where he's like, oh, Abby, I'm sure she's doing everything she can to help you. You really care about her. I know this guy, Woodrow, he can totally help you. And it's like, you're definitely like playing a con at the same time that I think maybe you mean this. So
that's the thing, like, no matter what he does...
It's like Avery's character.
Yeah, no matter what he does, he always has a ulterior motive. Even if he's trying to, like, save someone, trying to do something really noble, he's always like, what's in it for me?
Yeah, like, us as the audience, like, we know that he's playing a con. But when he's talking to Alec, and Alec's, like, kind of believing, I'm like, oh, no.
Because Alec's whole thing is, like, Alec wants to be a human again, and Avery's like, Woodrow's this brilliant doctor. He's the best in his field. And Alec knows who Woodrow is.
So, like, priorities are definitely get all the samples we can, cure Alec.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's present in his mind that he's like, Alec helped me. I feel kind of bad because I had him murdered.
Yeah.
So I feel kind of bad about this, and he saved my life when, like, the people I cared about the most didn't.
Tried to kill me.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe help him out, but it can help me first.
Yes, but like for me, like he just went through this huge ordeal. Like it seemed like a turning point where like he's still a bad guy, but like this horrible thing happened to him, and like his enemy helped him, and he's like, wow, maybe the world isn't so bad.
I don't even know if it's necessarily a noble or good character turn as much as it is Avery's the type of person who's like, I do one good for a good, you do me.
Yeah, scratch my back, you scratch my back.
Yeah. I don't know if it's 100% like a revelation of I'm a good person.
Well, clearly it's not, because he immediately turns on Alec the second Woodrow tells him how great everything will be if we just kill him and use his samples and stuff.
Right. Well, he doesn't... It's not as immediate, but it is... He's...
But like
convinced
So Alec saves Avery and he lets Avery go.
I really like that whole
it's an awesome
scene.
Like,
you brought this boat. Look, there's the boat. It's so weird.
Swamp Thing's like, no, the green brought it here. Close the channel, made it over here. So go to the
Yeah.
Like, even when Swamp Thing...
He made a boat come to him. It's great.
Uber. And he's like, oh, there's a boat coming. Alec, I'm going to come back for you. We're going to help you. And he's gone,
we're going to save you, Alec. We're in this together. It's like,
come meet us in the clearing. I want you to meet this...
You know the clearing? Yeah.
Look at that. Alec,
where'd you go, my boy?
He's so weird.
But yeah,
that was such a good scene though, because I don't know if he's like so happy, but he also feels like he lost it. It's like, I don't know.
He's also probably still super loopy.
If this season does in fact end the way the anatomy lesson does, that come around is going to feel real good. Because you know what'll happen if it follows the anatomy lesson. Woodrow, spoilers for that comic and possibly the show, but Woodrow will find out that Alec isn't actually Alec Holland anymore, and he'll lose his sense of humanity and self-identity, and he'll go to kill Avery, and Avery will be pleading for Alec to stop,
Mm-hmm.
there'll be no Alec.
Yeah. I totally believe that. That sounds great. And the trajectory of, like, we know the next episode's called. It's called The Anatomy Lesson. That's 9. And then 10's the final episode. Oh, it's making me sad just thinking about it. But yeah, Avery goes to Woodrow, and he's like, "Hey, Alec Holland saved my life. We're gonna try to save him and stuff.
Get your rubbing alcohol and stuff. Fix me up."
Yeah. Oh yeah, he just walks into their house and he's like, "Fix me up. You guys got medical supplies and shit, probably." So he's like, "Hey, Alec's gonna come, and we're gonna do an anatomy lesson on him." But Woodrow's like, "Okay, instead of keeping him alive, what if we like kill him?" And like save the world and become billionaires, because that sounds dope, doesn't it?
No, first he's like, hey, instead of turning him back into a human, let's keep him as a swamp thing.
Okay, yeah.
And then just keep taking stuff from him, and then we're super rich and your name is going to be everywhere.
Yeah, you'll be the most famous person on the planet. We can cure all the diseases.
We could do that.
And this is the exact point where like the scales of these characters where they're like Avery's like he's not a good character, but right now he's at the point where he's like Avery can become something kind of good, but Woodrow has fallen, especially after last episode where his wife the Alzheimer's is kicking in. He's at the bottom of the barrel, so he takes Avery at the top of his possible redemption all the way back down with him.
I don't even know.
It's so sad.
I don't even know if it's necessarily that Woodrow has fallen. It's just that Woodrow knows the opportunity.
Yes.
And this is the thing that he's been, because I don't think it's fallen. This has been him the whole show.
Yeah.
This is who he is. He prioritizes, the only human life he prioritizes over everything else is her.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everything else is just I like plants more.
Actually that is true.
That's been him the whole season. So this is like, here's the opportunity to do this.
This is why I'm here.
I'm going to do whatever it takes
I've come
to do
here.
it.
Yeah, the Conclave is funding this work. Like, we're not gonna get the results unless we go for it, dude. We can't be soft about this.
This is just Woodrow getting close to the goal. He had the whole season. So, I don't think it's fallen. I think he's very much just following that path.
Yes, I do think with his wife's deterioration, I do think his morals have sunken a little bit. Even though he's always been that guy, like, I think he's not willing to try to save someone's life. He's just willing to keep them as they are instead of save them.
Sure.
And he is a doctor, that his goal is to help people. So I do think his morals have fallen.
This is the guy who just shoved, like, blue cell regenerative stuff into our man, the Blue Devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, that dude was in a coma that could not be... he's a crazy scientist, but like that dude was beyond repair.
Yeah, and then just watched him burning in his yard and was like, neat, and didn't do anything.
No, you're right.
I think this has always been him.
Yeah.
This is the impression we've had since episode 1, episode 2 that he showed up.
But the thing is, then there's not really a character arc for him then. He's always been this guy then.
I mean, like, you're correct. I don't think that there is a character arc until he becomes the Floronic man. This is who Woodrow is.
Yeah.
He will evolve into something else with the loss of his wife.
You're right.
But this is who he's always been.
You're right.
He's just like having the opportunity to make the worst decisions he would have made anyway.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point.
But I don't think it's a change in him. I think it's just, this is him, and now the opportunity's there, and he's like, bam, cool. Okay. He's like a guy who's been playing a really long card game, and he's getting all the right cards at the right time.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. This guy's right. I like him. I guess I'll keep him on for the show.
So, meanwhile, Abby tells Harlan about Alec. It's fairly standard. Like, it just explains what we all know about Alec.
Just real quick, Harlan comes to her apartment, and I immediately think, like, oh no, is this going to be one of those things where, like, they're friends, but, like, he's going to try to make a move on her. They've been drinking, and, like, she's being really personal. But no, Harlan is a cool guy. He's a platonic friend. He's there to support his friend. And I'm like, I'm so glad that this didn't have to become something stupid and generic. I'm glad they could just be friends.
I was really scared for a moment that he was going to try and kiss her, but...
Yeah, because he puts his hand on her like this, and I was waiting for him to go like, I'm like, thank you, Harlan, for being a nice guy.
He's like, hey, I missed you. Oh, I missed you too. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a small thing that's like, it's not something people really think about, but like, for me, it's something that stands out.
Yes.
And I really appreciate it.
It's rare that you get genuine guys and girls can be friends and that be it.
100%.
Without ulterior motive, and this was very much that, where it's like, hey, what is going on?
But they're drinking hard booze, and she's just like, yeah, he can control the plants, and he can make them grow and do crazy shit.
Yeah, she's telling him all the stuff that Al can do a Swamp Thing, and he believes her.
Yeah, it's great. He's like, you know what? I saw a tree grow out of a man.
Yeah.
I can believe this. I'm like, Harlan, you work at the CDC. Of course you can. You're smart.
And then 5 seconds seconds later,
he leaves.
He leaves Abby's apartment in Atlanta. There's a very suspicious-looking black SUV just chilling on the side of the road.
One of those kidnap SUVs.
And 2 big guys walk out, and they're like, "Hey, Dr. Edwards." I think that's his last name, right?
Yeah. He's like, "It's 1 a.m. What are you guys doing?"
Who are you? It's like, "It's 1 a.m. Who the hell are you?" And they're like, "We need you to come with us." No, come with us, please. He throws a punch, gets his ass thoroughly handed to him, tossed in the car drives off. Abby doesn't see this at all.
She's upstairs thinking about her boy.
I don't know if it's so much as he got his ass handed to him as much as he got scooped up and shoved into a car.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
He's been drinking booze all night.
Yeah.
Like, he probably...
Like, he goes for a punch, and he, completely telegraphs. He's like...
So the next day, at the CDC, Dr. Palmer tells Abby that he went away to...
Ghana,
Ghana, yeah.
Well, first, her card doesn't work.
Oh?
Like her access card.
Oh, I think I said car. Sorry, her
no,
card.
No, card.
I
like
heard
her
card too.
Sorry, card. C-A-R-D.
Yeah.
Like her access card into the lab where her sample was, because she's like, "Hey, my test should be done by now."
The rot sample.
Yeah, the rot sample. Where the hell's my test? And Dr. Palmer. Oh, that's gonna be hard.
Palmer.
She shows up and is like, "Yo, so your sample complete lockdown. Follow me." And that's like, oh, this is bad. Yeah. This is real bad.
Well, it was fine until she was lying about Edwards, and we're like, oh, she's
confident on it.
Abby's like, yo, I was hanging out with Harlan last night. Where is he? Like, oh, he got an emergency mission to Ghana across the world. Crazy, right? And then we're like, she's working for the Conclave.
His plane left at 5 o'clock this morning.
And
I'm Conclave!
And she drops him in the room. She drops her in the room with Nathan Ellery.
Yes. Yep. And the big bouncer guy who kidnapped Harlan. Yeah, big bald guy, yeah.
And they explain
it's like, this is bad times at El Royale.
And Nathan explains that he knows everything about Alec, and they want Abby to bring him in a non-violent way, and Abby's like, go F yourself.
Yeah. Again, I said it last week, like, I love Nathan Ellery's swagger, because, like, he's secret organization guy, like, does not scare of nothing. He's like, oh, we're here to talk about Alec Holland, Abby. And she's like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, bitch, please. I know exactly who that is. I know he's alive. I know he's a plant man. You're going to tell me everything I need to know, or bad things are going to happen. And she says, F off. And he's just like, oh, boy, I'm the Conclave, baby.
He's just like, all right, Abby it is, then.
I love it.
So Abby decides to go back to Murray. Before we jump to what happens to Alec at the end of the episode, back where Woodrow and Avery were talking, Avery is... Oh man, I had it and it's now gone. We didn't cover something that was important. Oh, Avery finds out about Maria. Finds out Maria dicked
That's
him.
right. That's right.
Which is pretty important.
The con.
Yeah, because he finds out when Woodrow is like helping his leg.
Which is the other part of what I think, again, ulterior motives, what I think helps motivate him to want to cure Alec. If he cures Alec, Maria loses the project.
Yep.
Because he already knows that Maria now has stabbed him in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's also playing an angle to subvert her, or cut her out, at least. But Woodrow does convince him, like, let's catch Alec.
Yeah.
So much backstabbing.
And I love that, Woodrow doesn't care whose side he's on. As soon as Avery comes back in the picture, like the papa of the situation, he's like, Avery, your wife is doing crazy shit. Let's get rich, though. And he's playing all the sides, and I love it. It's super great.
Yeah. Do you think Avery's gonna kill Maria?
He's gonna try.
That man goes for people, no problem.
I want to say he's going to try, and he's ultimately going to fail, and then he's gonna get his comeuppance.
I'm gonna say again that I think if we had a 13-episode season, Avery would be coming after Lucilia and Maria.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're gonna get it.
No.
With only 2 episodes
I
left,
can definitely see, like him systematically take, almost like a serial, like a slasher movie, like every episode taking out every person. But I think it's gonna get truncated where we're not gonna see any of that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Man, that's a bummer.
I know every episode we're like, oh, the possibilities, but then nope, not really.
Yeah.
Even though they're great episodes, it's like we know that like there's clips missing here.
Yeah.
So
let's take us to.
Yeah. So I think
this is Woodrow and Avery going through the swamp.
They're in the clearing.
Avery's like, Alec, where are you? And then Woodrow's just like, Alec Holland, it's me, Jason Woodrow. I'm just like, what a silly. It's so
and then
funny.
he's like, I think you're familiar with my work.
It's great.
And then Swamp Thing is like, I've read your work.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I know I read your work, I love you.
I thought it was really funny because I'm like, if you just like jump back 3 months or so and put this little audio snippet from them wandering the swamp where Avery's walking through and he says, "Alec, are you there? It's me, Avery Sunderland." And then the other one is like, "Alec Holland, I'm Jason Woodrue. I believe you're familiar with my work." And you just slide that over to Ryan, and Ryan's like, "This is a thing?"
Yeah, right?
They're like all name dropped in one little moment.
Yeah,
This is like, oh man!
It's the first time, like all the major characters are like meeting for like
the three big ones from the anatomy lesson.
The antagonist and protagonist are just meeting. It's like,
yeah,
and then Swamp Thing's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Like, "Hey, if you come back with us, like, we promise we won't kill you, I promise. We can do some lessons. We can do an anatomy lesson. Nothing bad's gonna happen. We're gonna heal you. It's gonna be great. Who'd you bring with you? Who's with you? I smell people on the distance." And then like, mother effing, I thought they were flamethrower dudes.
So did I.
It's
I
awesome.
thought, I was like, oh no, that's bad.
They
freeze. So it's nitrogen. It's liquid nitrogen or some sort of freezing agent. I'm guessing nitrogen.
Yeah, it's the same thing from if you've seen Predator 2. No, we watched Predator 2, I think, right? Did we watch it? Yeah, there's a scene where they try to freeze the Predator, exact same stuff. But there's a great scene where they start trying to freeze the Predator. Nope. Damn it. They start trying to freeze Swamp Thing, and then it cuts away to where Avery and Woodrue are, and Swamp Thing is just throwing dudes left and right.
But after he makes a sword.
Oh my god, yeah!
I was about to say you forgot about like his hand sword. So I mean,
straight from like Terminator 2, it's like an arm blade.
Well, also from the Snyder run.
Yes.
Because in the Scott Snyder run, Swamp Thing,
I have the action figure upstairs.
Yeah, like Swamp Thing, he makes himself. And this is in the comics, by the way. He makes himself wings, horns, and a sword,
and a shield,
a wooden sword and shield, and just wrecks shit like an angel. And it's awesome.
I definitely did not.
In the books, it's awesome.
I never expected wings or anything in this first season, but I definitely didn't expect him to like start making melee weapons. That's pretty dope. Super dope.
I was expecting a plant sword, and then when his like one vine started moving, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And he tells them leave now, and this felt very like Incredible Hulk kind of stuff, where you're seeing just the kind of smoke fog, and it's obscured, and you just see bodies flying.
Like it was a lot of fun. And Woodrue and Avery are like, "Oh shit, this is not going the way we
Avery
planned."
grabs a shotgun.
Yeah.
That I'm not 100% sure where it came from.
Probably one of the dudes. I don't know.
I'm guessing one of the guys had it. I don't know. At this point, I don't care.
Oh, there's real quick. There's one scene where there's like a dead dude on the ground. And he just like kicks him. It's like, "You alive?" I'm like, "Nope." Oh man, this is a bad scene.
So he takes buckshots into Swamp Thing's chest. And
I said, "This is Swamp Thing. Like, but he should not be affected by bullets." But then you said he still thinks he's a man, so psychologically he feels it. I'm like, "Oh, that's so smart. That's so brilliant." So Swamp Thing goes down after being shot a bunch. I'm like,
and then he gets frozen.
Then he gets frozen.
No, he's
he tries to rush Avery.
He's a frozen vegetable.
Yeah. He is a frozen vegetable. That's a lot better pun than I was thinking.
So the Conclave has him with Woodrue and Avery involved.
Yeah. And then
Abby gets back and finds the abandoned frozen spot, knows Alec's been taken.
Oh yeah, there's like the shape where he was. Yeah.
Like, oh shit. She finds the shotgun shell. She finds the ice. Episode ends, and we know for a fact that the episode we're gonna get in a few hours, maybe less than that now. That's gonna be released.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the anatomy lesson. Yeah. And the second I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, it's happening!
Yeah, and that's Alan Moore's like introduction to Swamp Thing, which changed Swamp Thing forever. It's right here. It's the thing that like Swamp Thing is like known for.
We've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, and it's super cool that like we didn't know if we would get it at the end of the season or that was something that had been cut that had been next season, but like, man, that's the penultimate episode.
I feel like the anatomy lesson is kind of like the FakeNerd's watch drinking game. Take a drink whenever Ryan mentions the anatomy lesson, I mention the part of the trees, or any of us mention the rot, and I have something in my throat.
I will say, now that
we say rot a lot.
Yeah. They give us reasons to that, which is cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get you drunk right now. Rot.
I was really optimistic and hopeful we were going for it, and that they didn't just use the poster image of the recreation of the cover, him holding the skeleton.
Oh yeah.
Just to be cool imagery. I was like, man, I hope that they go for that.
It makes me wonder if we're gonna get any of that like super trippy stuff where Alec is like seeing his skeleton or seeing the worms, like that really truly like trippy 80s stuff that like you don't see anymore. I wonder if they're gonna go into that psychological crazy stuff. I wonder.
It's gonna be exciting to see.
Because if Swamp Thing's on the gurney, is that what it's called?
Slab.
Thank you. If Swamp Thing's on the slab, like I want to see what's in his mind, like, cause like. those issues of the anatomy lesson are crazy, man. They're super trippy.
I know it's been a while since, because you did the anatomy lesson for a book club.
FakeNerd book club, baby.
On our podcast.
Months ago.
And, because
when the show started, right? Right before it started?
No, it's been a while.
Oh, did we really? Again, my time is memory's bad.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time since I last, because I did read it.
I think we did it about a year ago, to be honest with you.
Holy shit!
I think we did. It's been a
year
long
ago.
Time.
Wow.
Because I'm trying to, excuse me. I'm trying to remember like the very fine aspects of the anatomy lesson. But the one I remember Woodrow looking at the lungs, looking at all the organs, how they're all plants, and then Swamp Thing finally coming to, and him realizing that I'm not a human. I think I'm Alec Holland. I have his consciousness, but I'm not a human being anymore. And then him just like.
So what it is he finds Woodrow's notes.
Yeah.
And Woodrow had figured out that his lungs and those things, they weren't functional.
They were made to like.
They're cosmetic.
They're cosmetic, yeah. To appear humanoid, to satisfy his psychological needs, basically.
But they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these organs, and they're just there for show. I'm like, wow, that's really tragic, man.
Yeah. So that's our next episode, is the anatomy lesson.
It's a big one.
We were really late on this episode, but we're going to be really on it with the next one because we are going to handle it immediately.
Because it's the anatomy lesson.
Yeah, so that episode will be up very quickly after this one.
Yes, to make up.
So catch up on that, and then there will only be one left.
Oh my god!
Oh, that's gonna suck.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that'll do it for us today. I don't even want to speculate. I just want to see what happens in the next episode.
Absolutely.
I just want to watch
any more past what we've already said. So thank you for watching. This is
guys.
Fake Nerds Watch. We are a part of the Fake Nerd podcast and that whole collection here on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. Here on YouTube, we also have Basement Arcade.
Bam! Episode 14 is up now.
Around the same time as this video is our Comic-Con special where we talk about all the Comic-Con news that we wanted to talk about. We did a recent podcast episode where we talked about the Lion King remake and some other things that were pretty exciting. And last week we did, not last week, but the week before we did What Makes a Good Adaptation as our topic.
Hell
and that video is up as well. Basement Arcade's still running.
Still
we
going.
just put up an episode recently.
Episode 14.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, episode 14.
Hey, Bulldog!
You guys are getting near the end of it.
So
we
close.
have to record one. We have to record the finale.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, that's so sad.
Anyway, so we'll be back here for more Swamp Thing very, very soon.
Heck yeah!
You are Ben Magnet. Where can they find you?
You can find me on the internet at BenMagnet27, preferably Instagram or Twitter. Either one works.
And you?
I'm DJ Tony Snark at everything. Like everywhere. That's what I use. It's me.
Yep. And I'm Sparkz Witty on Instagram, SPARKZ Witty. And, we're almost at the end of it.
Don't forget.
Hashtag
Say something.
Say Swamp Thing.
Thank you for watching this if you watch
Keep it around, keep it in the news.
Thanks for watching Swamp Thing. I love you.
Read the anatomy lesson if you can find it somehow, because that is a really good book.
A nice Georgia peach if you can. That's my Avery.
They're from Louisiana.
Eat yourself a nice Louisiana peach if they
There are
got
no peaches in Louisiana. Just
go to the bayou, hunt an alligator.
Eat yourself a nice pecan pie.
There you go, Sparkz. You got the thing.
Yeah. Keep sharing around all the word about Swamp Thing because it is an excellent show that is ending far too soon.
It breaks my heart every time I think about it.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, Derek Mears was also incredible in that scene.
I was gonna mention.
Oh, yeah.
We've had a lot of Swamp Thing, but I think this is the first time where it was like uncut. It was just like minutes of him just on the screen, and that costume is so effing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Mears, mostly a stuntman, mostly like a side actor, like getting a lot of screen time. He's really good.
Yeah,
like, I'm really proud of that guy.
His entire exchange with Avery is electric.
No, him in the I really want to see behind the scenes stuff about him going into the costume. And I feel for his eyes.
They gotta bring that to cons. The costume, man. They have to.
But I really feel for his eyes because those contacts look so painful.
Oh man, I can't even imagine.
They do not look fun.
Good job, Derek Mears.
I imagine that Derek Mears is used to it. I'm pretty sure this is not his first rodeo with contact lenses.
Yeah,
by a long shot.
Especially colored. I mean, especially color changing ones. Ooh, those are not fun.
Yeah.
But seriously, I love that costume.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's
I haven't looked at the Comic-Con hashtag for San Diego Comic-Con, but I hope there's someone out there who did a Swamp Thing cosplay.
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine this year. Probably
next year?
Give it next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That'll do it for us. Stay fake nerds.
Fake it till you make it. Are you sure it's rolling?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. Okay. It's rolling. We're proud. And even
I
proud.
fucking hate you.
Listen, I just, it's always better to be safe. Right? Right? Alright, cool.
Why can't you just ask before I sit down?
Because
it's like I did my own mental check this time.
Then you
to
should
be
have
like,
known.
I'm sure,
Then you
but
should
if you
be sure.
ask, it makes me doubt it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, listen. You just have to be ready.
Damn it.
You gotta be ready at all times.